Are you ready, Miss Bean? Alright, let's go.
Welcome back, Camille. If you don't know who I am, my name is Cameron, and this is Landon, and this is our daughter, Collette. And today we're gonna kind of be telling you guys like our love story, I guess, and how we met and where we are today. Pretty much start to finish. Well, I guess not really finish, because we're still together. So from start till now, our kind of love story. We met in middle school. I'm gonna kind of give like a history of like who we were before we met. So I was coming into the middle school in November. I started in the middle of the year. I moved schools. I was just in a really weird place in my life. I had just like dated a lot of guys, like, you know, like in middle school, you're like, yeah, we're dating. Like it's not, you know, really a thing, but it's like, you tell everyone you're dating, but you don't really like talk to them. So I had dated a lot of guys, and I just kind of got like a bad reputation for myself, and a lot of stuff happened and drama, and then I moved schools to kind of get a new start, and I kind of was like, I'm not dating anyone for a long time. What about you? Like before you met, what was your life like?
I was just the average, you know, middle school kid, going to school and playing Minecraft after school. Pretty much it.
Yeah. So I was new to the school, and you know when there's a new kid at the school, everyone's like, have you heard about the new kid? And so I didn't really know about Landon, but he knew about me, because like everyone was like, there's a new girl, right?
Yes.
So when did you first like hear about me and see me? Like tell me about that.
The same week you came, I knew about you and I saw you.
And what did you think? What was your first impression of me?
I was like, hey, a new girl. She's got a cute dress on. She looks kind of cute. That's about it.
So he thought it was cute.
I mean, I didn't like talk to you at that point or anything, so I didn't really like know you. But you seem very energetic and like trying to make friends.
Outgoing.
Yeah, you're like outgoing, talking to everyone.
Yeah, I was pretty much at the point where I was only going to be at that school for 6 months or a semester, and I knew that after I like left middle school, I was going to a different high school than everyone else. Like 99% of the middle school was going to this one high school, and I was going to a different high school. So I was just kind of like, I'm just gonna like be myself, and you know, not really care what people think, because I'm not really getting to know these people for very long. So I'm usually very shy, but since I was just kind of like whatever, F it, I just was being myself and being very outgoing. And I feel like if I didn't have that mindset, me and Landon probably wouldn't have been where we are today. So I got in with this friend group, and one of the people in that friend group, kind of like the leader of that friend group, I would say. So that was Landon's best friend. So, and I was kind of starting to get pretty close with him too. And so we kind of met through that mutual friend. And he would like occasionally sit at that lunch table with us, but most of the time he would sit at a different lunch table.
I kind of had a crush on her, and Cameron had kind of pointed me out and was like, that guy's kind of cute. And my friend had told Cameron that I was gay, yeah, as like a joke, but he never mentioned that I actually wasn't.
Okay, so yeah, I saw him and I was like, oh, he's kind of cute. And I was actually like driving home from school with my mom, and she's like, who's that guy who's walking home? I'm like, oh, that's Landon, like he's kind of cute. And I asked my friend about it, and I was like, so what's up with that guy? And he's like, oh yeah, he's gay. So I just kind of like was like, oh well, I guess he's gay. I really believed it. Yeah, we were in the courtyard about to like leave, like where we get picked up by our parents. And the school year was coming close to an end. It was like the last month of school, and I just found out that I'd be moving to a different neighborhood, like a few miles away from my house. And so I was telling our friend about it, and Landon was like there too. And I'm like, yeah, I'm moving on to this street. And they're like, that's literally where I live. And Landon lived like 2 blocks away. So we were all like super close to each other in the same neighborhood. And Landon was kind of like, school year's coming to an end, I have a crush on her, but nothing's probably ever gonna happen. But then he
There's a
found out.
chance.
Yeah, now that he found out I was gonna be living in his neighborhood, he was like, oh, there's a chance. Because when you're younger and you don't have a car, it's kind of like, you know.
Yeah, what she said. She's like, nah, it's not gonna work.
Exactly.
So yeah, so that was good news, kind of. And then after that, we were like, well, we should hang out, and we actually all drove home one day, and then we hung out. You know,
I think it was the last day of school.
Yeah, I think it was the last day of school because it was like really close to the end of the school year when we started talking. And then the next day, we were supposed to hang out again. Was that the day we went to the park?
I think so.
Yeah, we went to the park and we literally just had like the best conversation for like a good 3 hours. We literally just didn't stop talking. Like I was being myself around.
That's really, because Landon's really shy, so that's really rare. But that's like really the first time we've hung out, just us two, because it was always me and him and our friend. So we literally hung out like a week straight, like every single day. We were all hanging out, all three of us, and we were all kind of like, this is pretty cool, like, you know, our own little friend group, and we lived in the same neighborhood, and they would just skateboard, and I would just sit there and watch and hang out with them. And one day that guy couldn't hang out, and we just got into this really good conversation. And I really started to like get to know Landon, because he's really shy and awkward, and like, especially at the time, he was very to himself. So yeah, that was the really first time that I was kind of like, I like this guy.
And she found out I wasn't gay.
So I feel like fast forward like a day or two. We're all hanging out, all three of us, and his friend is like, you know, he has a crush on you. And I was like, what? I mean, I kind of knew, but I was like, you know, he's telling his friend about me. He must really like me. So yeah, I knew that he liked me, but I don't think you knew that I liked you.
So Cameron was leaving for camp in like the upcoming week.
And one day we were just hanging out. It was just me and him again. I think that's the second time we hung out by ourselves. And we went to his house, and he was being very awkward. I guess we both were. And he was just kind of like showing me around his house. I've never been to his house before, like showing me pictures of his family. And then we watched Wolf Creek 2 on Netflix. It's like some stupid horror movie. But I literally couldn't even like focus on the movie the whole time because I was just so nervous, and I had so many butterflies just like sitting next to him. And the movie like came to an end, and he was like, do you want to be my girlfriend? And I was like, no.
Oh yeah.
Because I was leaving for camp, and I just kind of knew that I needed some time to like think about, you know, if I wanted to get into a relationship, because like I said, I was just kind of like, I'm not going to date anyone for a while. I just need to focus on myself. So I went to camp for a few weeks, and the whole time he was all I could think about. I like hated being away from him. I texted him all the time.
We FaceTimed a lot before you went.
Yeah.
Like when you were at your, because she went to her grandmother's house in Tyler, Texas, and we lived in Frisco. So it was about 2 hours away, but she was gone for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But one of the weeks she was at camp. But when she wasn't at camp, we literally FaceTimed
every single night.
And
the
we
whole
talked.
night until like 5 in the morning. And then my grandma would be like, why are you so tired all the time? And I'm like, I don't know, I'm going to bed at a reasonable time. I don't know why I'm so tired. But I was just talking to him the whole time. So during that time when I was at my grandma's and we were talking all the time, I really feel like I like got to know him a lot, and I really got to like decide, you know, he's not just gonna like break up with me after a few months of dating. And because I really, like I said earlier, I had like dated guys for like 3 weeks at a time, and it was just like stupid, and I just wanted to stop doing that, especially like going into high school soon. I wanted to like, you know, not have a boyfriend. So during that time, I really realized like this isn't just a little thing, and we're actually gonna be together for a while. The day I got back, pretty much, I think it was the same day, we hung out all day. It was a really fun day. The boys were just kind of skating around. It was me and his friend again. He like got this.
Nothing too romantic.
Nothing crazy. The sun was setting, so it was really pretty outside. But yeah, he like got off a skateboard and come hang out with me and like snuggled with me and put his arm around me. I remember we were both just like sitting on his skateboard on my front porch, and he just like looked at me and was like, "Do you want to be my girlfriend?" And he was so nervous, y'all. So yeah, he asked me out, and I said yes this time. And then we had our first kiss right after. Then he kissed me, and that was his first kiss ever. He's never had a girlfriend before. He's never even held hands with anyone. So
to this day.
I felt pretty special. I'm the only person to this day that he's ever done anything with. The next day we had our first date. We went to the mall and we went ice skating at the mall. We held hands the whole time, and I remember he was like really like blushing, like shy, and like whenever we held hands he would like blush. And so, I don't know, he was like embarrassed, so he didn't want to hold my hand, and I was like really sad. I was like, why doesn't he want to hold my hand? Yeah, that was our first like date. So we lived like a few blocks from each other. So literally every day he'd wake up and come over to my house and hang out with me, and we would go and skate around. We basically spent the whole summer like outside or at the pool or at the park. Landon's changing her diaper, but yeah, by the end of the summer we pretty much were first of all really tanned for being outside all the time, and we kind of like knew that we really cared about each other. I'm not sure if we like loved each other, but we definitely really liked each other. And it was like both of our like first real relationship. It was his first relationship period, but it was my like first meaningful relationship. And I remember the first day of high school, I was super nervous. We walked to school together and we had like no classes together, and I was so sad about it. He walked me to my first period and was almost late for his first period, and that's pretty much how all of high school went. The whole time we were in high school together, he would walk me to class, every single class, and would almost be late to his classes because of it. So even if I was on like the other side of the school, he would come all the way there, walk me to my class, and then go all the way back. Like, he really cared about me. Freshman year was just great. We had a very good relationship. We were in a very good point. We were just so in love. We were just kids in love. And we hung out every single day. And we were just doing stuff all the time. We had our first homecoming, and that was super fun. That's still like one of my favorite memories. So I feel like our relationship was just really good all of freshman year. And the issues didn't really like start until sophomore year. I feel like sophomore year we had some issues in our relationship. That's probably the most hard time for our relationship. Landon was like putting a lot of effort and, you know, always doing stuff for me, always doing favors for me. Just, he was whipped. That's all I can say. His friends didn't like it, and they were like, you need to leave her. And that just caused a lot of drama. And I'm like, I don't like your friends. You can't hang out with them anymore. I was a really bad girlfriend, and I was very manipulative.
But like, she was my first girlfriend, so
yeah, he didn't know any better.
I was very blind.
Yeah, and his friends.
I mean,
were
she
trying
still
to tell
is my
him.
first girlfriend, but
yeah, his friends were trying to tell him and be like, "Look, leave her. Like, she's taking advantage of you." And honestly, he should have. There's so many times in our relationship where he should have broke up with me, but he didn't. But we're both glad that he didn't, because look where we are now. Just a lot of drama went down. A lot of arguments and a lot of breakups, but we never broke up for more than like an hour. We would always be like, okay, let's get back together, I miss you. So we'd always work it out. I must admit, I was a pretty bad girlfriend pretty much all throughout high school. This kind of continued up until junior year, and that's when things just kind of got worse. I have a whole story time about that, but basically he left on vacation and I trashed his house. He came back from vacation, he realized what happened and he forgave me, And I really started to change after that. I started to be a good girlfriend and more caring and less of a selfish person. Our relationship just got so much better. So yeah, after that whole ordeal.
So she's pregnant, and then out of nowhere, they're like, we're moving because they went on vacation and bought a house. And then that's when our long distance relationship started. So it was like the very beginning of the junior year that she had left. And so pretty much the whole junior year up until the summer was long distance. I visited her once in Christmas break.
You're skipping a lot.
But it's all that's not important.
Listen, it's like the most important, interesting part. Then we found out I was pregnant. I also have a story time about that. So if you want more details about when we found out, go watch that as well. All these links will be in the description, of course. Right after I found out I was pregnant, I found out that we were moving to Florida. So that was very stressful for me, especially being pregnant and hormonal. And obviously for Landon too, knowing that his pregnant girlfriend would be moving to a different state. So we went from pretty much spending every single second together since we started dating to not seeing each other for months at a time. And that was obviously very hard. It did take a year to adjust to. We kind of really had to like figure out how to make time for each other.
And at that point, I was also starting to work 40 hours a week, so we couldn't even talk.
Including school. So basically, our whole long distance relationship summed up is him working and being exhausted and doing school and being tired, and me being pregnant and hormonal and being like, why don't you ever want to talk to me? So that pretty much sums up our long distance relationship. We visited like 3 times during my pregnancy, and then he came when she was born, and I feel like that was really a turning point in our relationship. And we both kind of realized like we're parents now and we need to stop being petty and having stupid childish arguments, and we need to, you know, be like, hey, is this really important? No, she's important. Putting her first and, you know, thinking about her instead of ourselves.
Yeah.
So since then, things have been really good. We have been a lot more patient with each other and just kind of learned how to, you know, be more understanding and forgiving, because everybody makes mistakes. We both make mistakes. Everybody's going to make mistakes, but you just really need to learn how to forgive each other's mistakes in the relationship.
And Collette coming into our life has like made our relationship
So much better.
like amazing.
Yeah. I'm not saying go out and get pregnant, like if you're
It just-
having relationship issues with your boyfriend, but
Like it happened and we grow from it, we matured, it made us a lot more mature.
so we're still kind of navigating parenthood and what it's like living together. Now that we're engaged, by the way, we're engaged. We got engaged a few weeks ago.
And we have a video on that.
Yeah, you can watch that too. But I feel like marriage and engagement and all that, and basically our whole relationship at this point, isn't like we're perfect and we never argue and we never fight. And that's not what it's about. It's not like about like having a perfect relationship. It's about knowing like no matter what goes wrong or no matter what happens, because there's going to be struggles, that we both know that we want to stay together, and we're both willing to fight for each other. That's what's important, and that's why I feel like we're ready to get married. Because I mean, it has nothing to do with age, it has nothing to do with her, and it has nothing to do with anything other than the fact that we love each other, and that I know no matter what, I will do anything to fight for each other and to be together no matter what happens in our relationship. That's kind of our love story and where we are now and how we got to this point, and
We're the happiest we've ever been. So does that sum up the video?
yeah, that pretty much sums up the video. Do you want to say see you in the next video, Kimberly, then? Is that it?
See you in the next video, Kimberly.
See you in the next video, Kimberly.
Bye bye. I'm in a bad mood.
I cried the whole video. Honestly, like, you guys probably see this all edited and everything, but just to let you know, she cried. We had to stop so many times because she was just...
But she's still cute. Look at her.
Yeah, we forgive you.
We love you.
Are you listening to me?